Hello there, DML enjoyer. So, we do have the full monthly schedule and all of the news regarding the returning Ancients and also how the new Ancients are going to be released too. Of course, we've got Otto and we've also got the Primal event to get on with, but we will be taking a look at this video which was released earlier today from the official DML page that said the Origin of Void event starts next week on the 10th of October at 12 PM GMT. The Void Ancients are coming, and it doesn't look good for Dragonlandia. And then in the meantime, why not check out this video with every dragon available to collect throughout the month-long event. So there are going to be a lot of different events going on this month, as usual with these monthly events, but this video here will showcase all of the Origin of Void dragons and how to get them. So now, if we watch this, we will know. But the first one they show is of course the main reward dragon, Neil, who is the Ancient Collection dragon. So you'll need all of the other Ancients for this dragon. And he's of course the one with the big exception stats, and being a Divine Ancient means, you know, just like the Imroges and the Bahajirs, he's the major reward for this event. Next one we've got is Adatz, and he will be the Dragon Board event reward dragon, which, if you're a fan of Adatz, you're probably going to be happy about that, because it means that he's probably one of the, air quotes, easier ones to get, and it doesn't actually rely on the dungeon grinding. So if you don't like dungeon, you can at least get your hands on Adatz, who is the energy dragon. We have Solum, who is in the Ancient Altar, and he of course is the Void Water Ancient, the fishy boy. Imun is also in the Ancient Altar, and he is the Fire Void dragon. So that is how you get those. Then we've got this brand new dragon, the Shadow Metal dragon, who is the Ancient Chest reward. So that will require us to do the big monthly long board stuff. Then we've got Ancient Chest rewards, so we've got some returning dragons out of this, which we don't care about. Then we've got the Dragon Board market, and before we had a special dragon in the market, this time we've got the Orange Winged Dragon returning, we have the Painting Dragon returning, and then next up we've got the Peanut Butter Jelly Dragon coming as a collection event reward dragon from the 10th of October. Next we have Ik'ez, which is the first of the returning Ancients, and I don't know why he's returning so soon. He was in the last one. Why do we have Ik'ez again? It's so pointless. I mean, some people didn't get Ik'ez last time, but the problem is, those that didn't get him last time probably aren't going to get him this time either, because he's in the Ancient Altar from the 10th to the 24th, which means that if you want to get Ik'ez, you're going to have to get at least 3 Ancients if you want the main reward dragon. So most players that would like an Ik'ez, like say newer players, they're not going to be able to get him anyway if they want to go for the major reward. So I don't know, seems a bit pointless to me. Next up we've got Ashkelon, who is in the altar from the 24th of October to the 7th of November. So Ashkelon is a lot more doable than Ik'ez is, which is kind of good for me because I don't have Ashkelon, so I'll be happy about that. It means that you've got longer to grind in the dungeon if you do want to go for them, essentially. Next up we have the Gaio Dragon in the solo event, which we had Gaio not that long ago in a castle event, but he's back again. Next up, we have Eyeball in the Cake Craze, which, of course, is probably about the Halloween-themed stuff. I've already got them, so I don't care. We have a Blitz breeding for the Noir Dragon on the 1st of November, which we'll go through that in a moment. And then we've got Puenwyn. And Puenwyn is the main Double Trouble Rewards Dragon. And, not really a good roster of returning Ancients, to be honest. Ashkelon, Puenwyn, and Ik'ez. I think a lot of people were really hoping for an Earth Ancient, and this event we just don't have one. And the only water one that we actually have is the fish. So, I don't know, I think overall it's a little bit disappointing for people that really wanted some good dragons for their team. But you've got the fire options as well, so, you know, that's there. But he is the main Double Trouble reward. And that is all of the dragons. So that was quite a lot of dragons to go through. But the grand majority are new. The new ones, I mean, they are old, but the new ones that we got were showcased at the beginning. And then, of course, we got that Shadow Metal Dragon as well. So, interesting set of dragons overall. But, you know, Fishy's looking quite nice with this background here. I think the main thing to take from all of this is that if you do want to get your hands on Neil, you are going to have to grind the dungeon, and you will have to get those other ancients, obviously. But if you do want to get Ashkelon, which is possible, you will need to get enough currency for at least 3 dragons if you want to go for that main reward, which is a lot. It is a lot of grinding in ancient events, because you've got to remember that it requires more grinding in ancient events than it does for the divine events. So even if you manage to get Chrono Isis before, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get Ashkelon this time, so you need to be aware of that. But the other thing that we have regarding all of these events and these dragons is we do actually have the full schedule, which was posted actually a couple of days ago, which goes through quite a few of these events. But for instance, we've got the week of the 3rd to the 10th, which we know what's happening, that's this week. But then the week of October 10th to the 17th, that's when the Origin of Void begins. And so it says, in this week-long events, we've got the Ancient Dungeon, of course, which has Asteroid in it. And in the shop is going to be the Helper Dragon. We've got the Collection event, which has Lilac Horn, Painting, and Cherry to unlock Peanut Butter Jelly. So that might be a little bit tough. Depends on if you've got any duplicates for those dragons or not. Movie Marathon, Dragon of the Week for Cherry Blossom. And aside from that, nothing really too much else of note. But then we have week 17th to the 24th. So we've got the Ancient Dungeon with the Bright Dragon in it. Then we've got the solo event with the Gayo Dragon, and it has a Sacred Apple in the leaderboard. Then we've got October 21st to the 24th, blah, blah, blah. Then the 24th to the 31st. Ancient Dungeon again, of course, with Sinister and Eyeball in that Cake Craze event. And then we've got the final week of the Ancient event stuff. So it goes from the 10th, obviously, through to November. And then we've got that final stuff, and we'll be finishing off the Dragon Board and stuff like that by that point. But that is just most of the schedule out, because we do get the monthly schedules now. But, oh my goodness, my voice just died on me. Anyway, we do know what all of the dragons are, how they're going to be released for now. So what do you think? Are you excited? Are you happy in the way that these dragons are being released? I'm not sure if I'm thrilled about the options, but you know, it's the final ancient event, air quotes, final event. So, I guess we just have to make do for now. At least they're including a couple of Halloween dragons, because otherwise it would have been pretty dire without really any Halloween celebrations whatsoever, you know. I remember when we used to actually get Halloween events. Anyone else remember? I remember. I remember when we actually had Halloween in DML. No longer. No longer. We are forbidden from having Halloween in DML. Banned. Banned completely. But this means that we've got this week to essentially plan out stuff, so get as many gems as you possibly can from the ruins. Make sure that you've got a good dungeon team ready, because you will need to grind a lot to get those altar dragons. So you need to have a good team ready, you need to have gems ready if you don't want to spend anything, and just in general, get yourself prepped and in the right mentality for the ancient events come on. But we've got one more day of treasure hunt, and we have the solo event. And the reason a lot of people are really excited about this one is because it's got the Orvane dragon in it. Which, he is kind of a cool looking dragon, I have to say. I'm a really big fan of his egg. He's probably got one of the nicest looking eggs in this game. Just saying. Maybe that's just me, but I love his egg mainly. I love it more than him. But he is, of course, the reward of this solo event. We can also get our hands on the Libra dragon from the leaderboard. But that's a leaderboard dragon. I didn't manage to get Unlikely. I did come fourth, probably against some whales that wail at the end. The curses of being VIP 20. But even though we didn't manage to get Unlikely, it's actually fine because we got 10 enchantment tickets. And I don't know about you, but considering how scarce enchantment tickets are these days, that is fine. I was more so worried I was going to come like 11th and get like nothing. But I am fine with taking that, to be completely honest with you. But I guess we should at least do our last 2 quests here, so winning battles and hatching dragons for our little corgi. And then I'm probably going to end up spending all of my shovels maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't actually decided yet. And also, it's weird that it's ending in a day and 3 hours time. That's going to be a weird time for it to end, right? I'm not going insane, but that's a really weird time frame. Anyway, just thought I'd point that out because it's strange. Because, like, for me, it is 9 PM. So that means that, what, the primal event is ending at midnight in Europe? Weird. Or near on midnight? I don't know. I've never seen that happen anytime recently, so threw me off a little bit when I noticed that earlier, but hey, now you get to notice it as well. But regardless, that is going to be another treasure hunt done. We'll see how much arena energy we get from it, and we'll see how our luck goes, because it's not like we have an excessive amount of shovels. We could get diddly squat, to be honest, and we may get 0 of the other new primals. At least we got one of them, right? A free primal is okay. It's not perfect, could be better, but it's fine. It's fine getting just a corgi. Ideally, I would like to get a fox as well, but we shall see when the time comes, today/tomorrow. But, you know, like I said, in terms of getting prepared for this ancient event, you need to have a good dungeon team, and there is a section in my Discord server where you can post a screenshot of your team, get some advice before the ancient event begins. But the reality is, if you are not prepared for this at this point, you will have a really tough time getting ready before next week begins. Because, you know, you're going to need to have enough food, you're going to need to have, depending on what you've done, maybe some enchantment mats, but you can always make up for enchanting via food, because if you didn't know, leveling up dragons is exactly the same as enchanting them, except enchanting just counts for 2 levels of food, food feeding. So, you could just never ever, yeah, you could literally just never enchant a dragon. Unless you had a bunch of, like, main team members that were already max level and they were enchanted as well. Like, I can't not enchant because my dragons are at that level. And my goodness, can you just die, evasion users? My goodness, I could have handled that differently, but, like, evasion. It's just annoying. Obviously, you can use AoE to take them out, but sometimes I like taking my chances with the RNG on it. Like that time we hit, but that's because he's got, or the pixie's got a rare. But anyway, we've got all the news now for what pretty much everyone wanted the last few weeks. I don't know how everyone's going to feel about it in general, but we know what to expect, we know what's coming up. It was the final event, and then after this ancient event, anything could happen. It could be complete and utter chaos from this moment. Oh, and we also do have the Red Lion Dragon in the dungeon as well. So there are a few dragons available. Other thing that we've got is actually a premium sigil chest, which before I pop off, I will be opening this. Let's say rare turtle. You know what? Rare witchcraft, that is fine. I like how little faith how much I just don't value these chests whatsoever, essentially. I always expect to get absolutely nothing of value from them. So I'm actually quite impressed. A rare witchcraft? That's actually useful, potentially. Wow. Absolutely crazy. Crazy. But anyway, I am gonna skedaddle. So if you do want to check out that video, you can go and find it on the DML Facebook page. And if there is anything that was confusing or you don't understand anything, let me know. You can ask here in the comments or in the Discord server, wherever you want to chat. But please, if you are a new player, get prepared as much as you possibly can. Even if your team isn't perfect right now, you can still, you know, make it a little bit better into the second week or even the third week of the event and potentially still get an ancient or even 2. So if you want to see success and potentially get Neil, that's what you're gonna have to do. But I can warn you 5 million times, not everyone's gonna do it, and that's fine. But that's my final warning to you now. Get prepared if you want anything of value out of this event. But anyway, I appreciate you joining me, and until next time, I hope to see you then.